This is your man Legend for Natural Selections, and we broadcasting live from South by Southwest at the Dr. Charles Purdy Plaza. With, in my mind, to me, is ATX a hidden gem. You know what I'm saying? One of the dopest lyricists out. I've known him for like a decade almost. My man, Stormshadow. What's going on, fam? You good?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good,
Blessed.
good. The first thing I want to know is, man, you've been doing this stuff for years. I mean, what has been your inspiration? Because I've been doing this for a long time. I've seen people come and go. People change titles, change things of what they're doing. But you, my man, you were stuck with what you're doing since day one. And it's only gotten better. I mean, what's the motivation behind it? You know what I mean?
Man, just having love in my heart for the people, wanting to get a good representation of the culture out that's not tainted, you know, and basically just expressing myself on higher levels through spirituality and through the music, you know what I'm saying, and pushing that to people so it could be something of substance and something substantial after I leave, you know.
That's real. I love that. So, man, I caught you at the end of rehearsal last night. So, I mean, what do you got coming just as far as shows, as far as projects? What's the next step for Stormshadow? Because I know you had a lot of those projects, and I know it's only getting better. So, what's next?
Right now, I got a live band called Collective Thought, and we're working on our album right now. We're also doing a lot of live shows. We got a show coming up on the 18th at Lit Lounge. We're doing a day show and a night show with Mariah's Roots Band and Morgan Heritage family. So definitely look out for that. And then on the other side, I got my team. I represent the Mike Fiends. Shout out to my man Stress. You know, then I'm also doing solo things as well. And I'm working on a project for the late soul singer Donnie Hathaway.
Okay, go.
Just trying to keep that moving.
And also, I'm going to record my verse for that. I know Storm doesn't think I am, but I'm going to record it. It's going to be dope.
Yeah, I got my man Legend featured on that, so that's definitely a blessing, you know what I'm saying? Big up B. Marie, you know what I'm saying? The whole Natural Selection fam, you know what I'm saying?
Much love. Man, but there's been a lot of talk about, like, the generational gap in hip-hop, like the older heads and the music and the style and tradition that they're used to, plus the kind of younger heads and the style that's coming along with them.
Yeah.
I mean, what's your take on that? Because I heard a lot of older heads say, like, yo, that's whack. You know what I mean? That's not hip-hop.
Right.
Then I heard, I was talking to my partner the other day, and he said, like, that's just a natural progression of hip-hop because our parents did us the same way, like what we listened to.
True. I think one of the big things we have to recognize is it's like that Willie Lynch syndrome type thing, trying to separate the young and the old, you know what I'm saying? We have to remember that we're together, you know what I'm saying? We can't have a separate way of thinking, you know what I'm saying? We always have to stay together and unified in solidarity. Once we learn how to do that, then we'll learn how to progress, you know what I'm saying? Myself, I reach in the community, I work with a lot of the younger cats, and I work with a lot of the older cats and stuff. I think a lot of the stuff that happened in the 90s was people was crystal popping and doing a lot of things anti-community and wasn't in a position to raise their seeds, wasn't in a position to raise their kids. If you look at the prison industrial complex, it's full of black men, full of Latino men. And that means fathers absent from the home. So what we need to do is realize what's going on in our communities and outside of the music, because this definitely affects the music and affects the communities. Hip-hop is the people. So whenever the people is hindered, then hip-hop's going to be hindered. So when we look at that big picture, we see what's going on. So again, we need to reshape our message and make it more fluent for everybody, you know what I'm saying, young and old, and realize that the strength is in together, not separate, and watch how we talk to each other and criticize each other. I think once we start doing that, then we'll bring hip-hop to newer and higher levels. We need to be schooling the youth, not criticizing the youth. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I like that stand. But also one thing I wanted to talk to you about too, like far as like they talk a lot about ghostwriting, you know what I'm saying? In the original origin of hip hop, it's really frowned upon for someone to write your lyrics.
Yes,
but if you talk about the music industry as a whole, a lot of records are made by enough people. They're not necessarily made by one person.
Right.
Like their whole name may be on it, but there might be a team of songwriters or producers that came up with the entire thing because there's a lot of pieces that go with songs. I mean, what's your take on that? Because, I mean, me personally, I think it's kind of whack for someone to write your lyrics for them.
Right.
But at the same time, I've been in this game long enough to know that a whole product is kind of put together by a team.
Yeah, exactly, man. I really feel like if you're doing that and you're in that type of atmosphere where you have a team around you writing your lyrics and whatnot, you're more of an entertainer. You're more of a rapper. You're not a MC. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think people should be parading as a MC when they have a team of writers building them up and stuff. It's almost like finding out Rakim never wrote his lyrics or KRS-One never wrote his lyrics. These are MCs, and this is what we're talking about as far as like rules and codes within hip-hop. Now, if you want to be an entertainer or a rapper or something like that, then I can see people writing your lyrics. But when you represent the MC, then you need to be doing that solely by yourself, and that needs to be coming from your heart and soul.
That's real, that's real. But I mean, we're here at South by Southwest, so I got to talk about that. And I know we've had numerous conversations, and you spoke with like South by Southwest is not really a place where you come up and have opportunities, but also on the flip side of it, it's a good opportunity to constantly network because I mean, you know, that's the lifeblood of what we're doing because it's always good to know another producer, know another blogger, know a publicist, know somebody that can help you just get that next step because it's about constant steps. I mean, what's your take on that? As far as how South by Southwest has just changed and evolved through the years, you know, because you've been here.
Yeah, man, I think in the 90s, South by Southwest was a little bit more pure, you know what I'm saying? Definitely more opportunities. I feel like right now it's more about corporations, more about money making and stuff, a lot of pay to play type of opportunities, you know. Like you said, it's good to network and build with people, but at the same time, you have to ask yourself, are people getting signed from out of South by? Are people's careers going to the next level? Or are we just going round and round in circles? So once we ask ourselves these questions, then we'll be able to make an intelligent decision on what we need to do next. Also, we need to understand that South by isn't the only music festival. There's a lot of other music festivals, so you don't want to be going 10, 20 times in a row and missing all these other opportunities elsewhere in the nation and elsewhere within the state and stuff. So those are things that I think people should notice and take into mind. You know, I definitely love South by. Shout out to it. I love Austin. Big ups that I am an Austinite, you know. But I just don't claim Austin and Texas. I claim the whole earth. You know what I'm saying? As original black man of the planet. You know what I'm saying? So you can't confine me to one coast or one state or one city. The whole planet is mine. The whole universe. I'm one with the universe. So these are the things that I take in mind when you study knowledge itself and who you are and where we come from as a people and people of the sun. So that's my whole take on South by and just loving music universally. Don't put yourself in a box. Make sure you explore and take advantage of opportunities that's presented to you and stuff. Make sure you have the right mind, attitude, you're studying your research as you progress in your career because you do not want to go in circles a lot of times and be something local. It's okay to be local if you're food or beverage, but as an artist, you definitely want to be universal, you know? So
that's real talk. That's science right there from my man Storm. Now, one thing I want to ask, what's the ultimate message of Stormshadow? Because I listen to your music, and it's a lot of, it gives me the feel of like, it gives me the feel of the 90s, but it still has a contemporary feel for it. I mean, what's the aim of your next project? And I mean, what's the ultimate message of Stormshadow just as an artist? And as a, I don't want to use the word brand, but just as a symbol of something greater out here.
Yeah, definitely Stormshadow represents health, wealth, and knowledge itself. You know what I'm saying? Those are the principles that I stand upon. I'm definitely influenced by the 90s. I feel like the 90s was one of the most purest, original times in hip-hop. You know what I'm saying? And my music does reflect now because I'm living in the now. I'm still influenced by people of all ages and all things, and travels and books I read, movies, etc., etc. So my music is forever changing, unchanging. So that's the way I would like to describe myself, you know. And like Bruce Lee says, be water. So that's the thing I want to do as MC. I want to stay fluent as water. Water can crash and break the hardest substance in the world, or it can flow. You know what I'm saying? And be nice and smooth. So the object is to be water. That's what my teacher, Bruce Lee, taught me. You know what I'm saying? So big ups to Bruce Lee. You know, and make sure you apply that to your life. You know, as an artist, be like water.
Indeed. Well, our brand is about lifting the community and about teaching the youth about their history, because they don't see a lot of that in the school system. They don't see a lot of that in the community like they used to.
Yeah.
I mean, do you feel a responsibility as an MC to enlighten people to things that are going on and things that they don't know about, whether they be black, white, or whatever? You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. I don't, live my life through Facebook, you know what I'm saying? But people that's close to me, they know that I used to work in a juvenile detention center. I used to run a group home. I've been to different schools teaching about hip-hop culture. And you definitely have to be in community and teaching. I feel like that's one of the things in the late 80s and 90s that people started missing. They didn't go back into the communities and start teaching and stuff. Again, like I said, people were into crystal popping and actually like talking this genocidal type of rap. You know what I'm saying? When you really look deep into it, it's really the intellect of the Ku Klux Klan and the neo-Nazi talking about how you're gonna shoot your own brother or a brother that looks like you. Oh, I'm gonna kill this nigga and shoot this nigga. I'm gonna fuck this bitch. No, she's your queen. No, that's a king just like you. So we need to change our way of thinking and stuff like that, and understand that a lot of that stuff that's out talking about selling drugs to people and stuff, that's the agenda of the Ku Klux Klan. That's the agenda of neo-Nazis, and that's something that's not hip-hop and shouldn't belong. You know what I'm saying? So we need to really reverse the brainwash.
I like that. But this is my last question, and
hit me over the head.
This is not your average question. 30, 40